what is accessor. We learned about accessor. Another, constructor. Okay. All these are detailedly explained property, method and accessor. Na? We learned some examples on that. What is property, method, accessor and constructor. Constructor, no change. Same constructor will be similar to what you learned in JavaScript. Constructor is same, everything like how you done in your JavaScript. Actually, constructor, so properties will store data, methods will define functionality, accessors will give more control over the properties. So what is the purpose of constructor? We discussed the basic point. Already you know in JavaScript. What is the purpose of constructor? Instantiation, right? So constructor, all concepts are same. Explained now already. So same. So now once we are good with this constructor, same JavaScript constructor. Now you have to understand about these is all the members of what? These are all the members of class members. Next, another important you need to know is about reusability and extensibility. You have to know about reusability and extensibility. That means how we can reuse and how we can extend, right? How we can reuse and extend. So reusability, actually reusability is nothing but reusability is the technique of so reusability is the technique of accessing the members of one class and using in another class. Accessing the members of one class and using in another class or any another location. So how we can access the members of one class in another class? Actually, you can handle reusability by using two techniques. One is by using aggregation. Another one by using inheritance. Reusability and extensibility we can achieve. You can handle reusability and extensibility by using two techniques, aggregation and inheritance. We have two techniques, aggregation and inheritance. Actually, aggregation is nothing but it is the process of accessing members of one class in another class without configuring any relation between classes. Aggregation means it is the process of accessing the members of one class in another class without configuring any relation between classes. So how you can access the members of one class in another class without defining any relation between the classes? Actually, it is done by using, so you can access by using an object of existing class. You can access by using an object of existing class. Actually, it is often called as has a relation. We call it as has a relation. That means without configuring any relation between the classes, we can access the members of one class in another. So how you can access? By creating an object for that class. We call this mechanism as has a relation. Has a relation. For example, see. Let's open the logic. So here we will go to our TypeScript here. Now in this index, I am creating class. I am using the class name super. And in this we have a print method. And this is console.log. This is super class print method. That is the simple method. We have another class derived. And it is also having a print method. So console.log, this is derived class print method. Now I want to access the superclass print method in derived class. I want to use that here. Then without rewriting it, what we can do is inside the derived class, we can create an object for superclass. And through that object, we can access the print method. This is aggregation. Aggregation means without defining any relation between classes, there is no relation between classes. So superclass and derived class, they are just names. They are independent. There is no relation. We can access the members of superclass in derived class, and we can use them by using object. This mechanism is called aggregation. So we will create an object for which class? Derived. Through derived object, we will access print, which can access both print methods. It can access superclass print method as well as derived class. So let's run this and see. So we will try to access these two. So here we are accessing tsc index.ts and node index.js, and it is working fine. We can access the members of one class in another class by using aggregation. Aggregation is this. This is one simple example how we can access the members of one class in another. Now another technique is inheritance. Inheritance means you can access members of one class in another class by configuring relation between classes. By configuring relation between classes, we can configure relation between classes. Let's see. That means it is often referred as is a relation. We call this mechanism as is a relation. We have has a relation and is a relation. Now see here, actually now we have this superclass, and this superclass and this is derived class. I am not creating an object. Then what we can do is we can configure relation between the classes. Derived class can extend the superclass. Derived class can extend the superclass. It can extend the superclass. Just like we have seen, the contracts also can extend. So derived class can extend the superclass. If there is a relationship defined between the super and derived, then it's very simple. You can access the members of superclass in derived class just by using the keyword super. By using super, you can access the superclass members here. That means what is the superclass? Superclass print. We can access the superclass print. That means without creating an object, you can access the members of one class in another just by using the keyword super. So here I will run this and see same tsc index.ts and we have node index.js and same is working. But this time we are configuring relation between the classes. That means we have a superclass and this superclass is extended by the derived class. We can access the superclass members in derived class. Here one important rule is there, I will tell you. Actually, in object-oriented programming rule, you learned in Java, .NET and all these rules. Actually, when you create or configure relation between classes and access the members using a derived class object. So when you create or configure relation between classes and access the members using derived class object, then first base class constructor is called, then followed by derived class constructor. I hope you have learned this rule in all your OOP languages, right? So if we create an object for derived class, base class is having a constructor. Derived class is also having a constructor. As per OOP rules, the base class constructor must be called first before the derived class constructor. Now generally in Java, .NET like languages, internally it happens. So internally, every time first base class constructor will execute, then followed by derived class. Not in JavaScript and TypeScript. So in JavaScript and TypeScript, this rule is not followed directly. So in other OOP languages, this rule is followed. Automatically, first base class constructor will execute. But TypeScript and JavaScript will not follow the above rule implicitly. Hence, you have to call superclass constructor manually in derived class. Compulsory. Compulsory you have to call the superclass constructor in derived. For example, you see now here, currently we don't have any constructor in derived, so no problem. But what happens is we are configuring a constructor in derived class. We are configuring a constructor in derived class. Now, when you are configuring a constructor in derived class, it is showing some error. We are configuring a constructor in derived class. It is showing error. And see the error. What is the error? Error is nothing but, because remember, superclass is already having a constructor implicitly. Default constructor is there. And you are creating a constructor in derived class. As per the OOP rule, derived class constructor must execute after superclass constructor. In Java, .NET like languages, it will happen internally, but not here. That is the reason it shows an error. See, it says that constructors of derived classes must contain a supercall. Constructors of derived classes must contain a supercall. It means that, so in the derived class constructor, you cannot execute it until or unless first base class constructor is executed. Now, how to call the base class constructor in derived class? Just by using the keyword super. That is the way. It is not required in your Java and .NET because it is internally happening there. Internally it happens, compulsory. That is the basic rule actually. So that is the reason, if anybody asked you a question like, can we create a derived class object using base class memory? Can we create a derived class object using base class memory? Or can we create a base class object using derived class memory? We can create a base class object using derived class memory. It is possible. Why? Because first which memory will be allocated? Base. Then which one? Derived. Can you create a derived class object using base class memory? No, not possible. Why? Because first derived class constructor tries to execute, which is not possible. Which one should execute? Base class. So that rule is internally followed. Here you have to manually define. Right? This is very important. And if superclass is having a constructor, and this constructor is expecting a parameter, right? Some name, some string type like parameter it is expecting, then superclass have to pass that value. Understood? It should pass that value until or unless it is not optional. Right? Already we learned optional parameters can be there. If it is optional, no need to define it. If it is not optional, we have to pass. So this basic rule you have to remember while working with inheritance. While working with inheritance, this is the basic rule you have to follow. So here the point is, you can access the superclass constructor in derived class by using which keyword? By using super. That is what we have to. So inheritance is this. Already I told you about inheritance related to contracts. Here also similar. What I told you about inheritance with detailed example, same. Only the point is classes will not support multiple inheritance. Will not support multiple inheritance. Generally, interface supports multiple inheritance. Classes will not support multiple inheritance. They will support single and multi-level. Multiple inheritance is not supported. So why? Why multiple inheritance is not supported for classes? And it is supported for interfaces. Why multiple inheritance is not supported for classes? What is the problem? What do you say? Why multiple inheritance is not supported for classes? Ambiguity, means ambiguity means what is the meaning of ambiguity? Ambiguity, okay. What is the meaning of ambiguity means? Multiple copies of what is ambiguity? Ambiguity. Actually, ambiguity is not the correct technical point actually. Architecturally, why multiple inheritance is not supported for classes and why it is supported for interface? The main reason is because of constructor deadlock. That is the main technical reason. Constructor deadlock. I already told you that generally many people ask that, sir, I want to fake experience and go to interviews. What do you think of yourself? The interviewer is a fool? That he don't know that you are faking your experience? You are genius? Yeah. Many people ask this, sir, I want to fake experience 3+4+ and go to interviews. You are thinking interviewers are so cheap and they are such knowledgeless people, and you are genius then that you are faking your experience and they don't know. What do you think about yourself? After all, they have seen lakhs of people like you, the interviewer. That means just speaking to you for 2-3 minutes, he can tell that you are faking your experience. Just with 1-2 answers itself, he can tell that you are faking your experience. Because the terms that we speak, they tell the level of experience we have. Generally, what learners have a definition and what architectural definition, they are different. Generally, architectural definition you may not learn because at learning level it is difficult to understand. So trainers don't take any risk to make you understand about its architecture. They will tell you only concept. See, remember always 2 things. For freshers, interview questions will be related to concept. For experienced people, interview questions will be the architecture behind concept. Understood? That means, what is inheritance? That is the question for freshers. How inheritance works? That is the question for experience. Why it will not work in this situation? That is the question for experience. What is the architecture behind inheritance? That is the question for experience. And these type of questions are never asked for freshers because time waste, because they don't know that much in depth, and we don't expect also. They know definition, they know what it is, enough. That for experienced people, they need the architecture behind the concept. If you use the word ambiguity, it is a very general fresher answer. Ambiguity means it's a common fresher's answer, ambiguity. Architecturally, constructor deadlock. Means I will tell you that situation here. You can understand that easily. Constructor deadlock means I just explained one rule. Remember? I just told you one rule. So superclass. See, suppose we have super 1, we have super 2 and super 3. Three super classes. And this is the memory. Now what happens is all the super classes are having constructor. Am I right? All super classes, every class have a constructor now. So all the super classes are having constructor. And now this we have a derived class. And the derived class is extends super 1, super 2 and super 3. This is multiple inheritance now. We saw this possible in interface. Multiple inheritance. In this, which one is first? There is no priority. All are super classes only. Then do you know what happens? Actually, now first as per the rules, superclass constructor must be called. Na? First superclass constructor must be called as per the OOP rule. Then do you know what happens here? Because superclass constructor need to be called, the super 1 constructor will be waiting for super 2 constructor to go into memory. This is memory. Understood? Now super 2 constructor is waiting for super 1 to go into memory. This is waiting for this to go into memory. This is waiting for this to go into memory. All are waiting for each other. Nobody is going into memory. This is deadlock. We call this mechanism as deadlock. You will learn this while learning in multi-threading. When you learn about multi-threading concept, you will learn about deadlocks. Deadlock is a situation where two tasks are waiting for each other to go into memory, but no one is going. Now, due to this, no constructor is loaded, then obviously inheritance not finished. Relationship not done. Why? Because no constructor is loading. As per the rules, superclass constructor must load. So because of constructor deadlock, it is not possible. Now this is the reason why multiple inheritance is possible in interface. Because interface don't have ambiguity. No, because interface don't have constructor. Interface don't have constructor, na? If there is no constructor, there is no deadlock. So why it is supported for interface? Why it is not supported for class? The reason is constructor. If you say ambiguity, that ambiguity should be there in interface also. Interface also can have same name members now. Right? That means ambiguity is not issue. Then interviewer will ask, okay, if I don't have same name members, then it is possible. Huh? If I don't have same name members, it is possible. Huh? Then how it is a reason? So it is not the reason. The reason is constructor. So why multiple inheritance is not supported for classes and supported for interface? That is constructor deadlocks. That is the main reason, actually architecturally constructor deadlock. What is meant by constructor deadlock? All constructors are waiting for each other. No constructor goes into the process. Then relationship not established. Inheritance not done. That is the concept about this, right? That is the concept about constructor deadlock, right? Yeah. 1 second, 1 minute, I will be back. Right. So let's see. I hope you understood the point. Constructor deadlock. So constructor deadlock is a situation where all constructors will be waiting for each other. Right. This is not a problem in interface because interface don't have any constructors. That is the reason actually. So this is generally inheritance and how we can use inheritance. Okay. Next important is in the OOP features of TypeScript, we need to understand about polymorphism. Polymorphism. What is polymorphism and how polymorphism works? Let's see technically what is polymorphism means. Generally, first I will give a general example, right? What is polymorphism? Let's take one general example. See, actually we have, in the early days, we have device like, we have a pager device. We have digital organizer. So, and we have camera and we have phone. Actually, in the early days, we have pager. Generally, pager is used for sending SMS. We can send SMS by using pagers. So before the concept of mobiles came, we have pagers. So I hope you have seen. So let's open here. So a pager looks like this. Actually, these are pagers. Before the concept of mobile came, we have pagers. We used to send messages and communicate through pagers. Okay. Then we have digital organizers. They are used for storing contacts, for calculator, like we can have like calendar, like appointments. All these we can use through these digital organizers. Actually, digital organizer looks like this. These are digital organizers. We used to call them as digital diaries. Very beginning, we have these kind of digital organizers. So we store appointments, contacts, addresses, everything. Instead of a book, we maintain a digital diary. So we used to use these digital organizers, calculator, calendar, everything will be there inside it. Now we have a camera for photo and videos. We have phone for calling and all we have. Now what happens here is now we have a device and we got a device called mobile. Now this mobile device now can work as a pager, it can work as an organizer, it can work as a camera, it can work as a phone. Due to that, now all others gone. Gone means we are not using any pagers anymore, we are not using digital organizers anymore. We can take photos with our mobile. That means here the point is, suppose we don't have a SIM card in a mobile, still I can use that mobile for photos, videos. I can use for Wi-Fi calling, right? That means now this one device is having several behaviors. That is what we call as poly. Poly means many. Morphos means forms. That means the ability of a device ability of a component to work for different situations. That means instead of using so many devices, now one can do all the works. For different situation, it can work for different ways. This is what polymorphism is. Generally, when we ask what is polymorphism, we regularly get an answer: function overloading, method overloading. Right? Polymorphism is not function overloading or method overloading. It is more than that. Right? So, polymorphism is the ability of designing any component in such a way that one component can work for different situations. For different situations. Let me give you a concept here. See what we are doing here. Here, I will create one class, employee, that is the class. This employee class is having, so first name, it is a string type, right? That is a string type, it is some empty. We have last name, so that is string type, empty. We have designation, and that is also string type, and it is empty. So employee have print is a method. So this is an void, and we have to print console.log. We will print first name, this dot first name. We will print last name, this dot last name. And we will print designation, this dot designation. This is one class. This is a class called employee. Now I am creating a class called developer. Developer must have all these employee features. But in addition to that, developer will have his role extra. Developer have his role extra. In addition to this, that means every developer will have first name, last name, and designation. In addition to that, some more responsibilities are there for developer. So now developer have to use all these features. In that case, developer extends whom? Employee. If developer is extending employee, you can access all these here now. Yes. So what I am doing, I am accessing first name, and the first name I will keep as some Kiran, some name. Last name, so I am giving a last name. Last name is some name. I am using some designation, and designation is some designation. It is developer. And extra, I am having role, which is not there in this. Because we are extending means using existing features, adding new features. And the role of developer is, we will say, developer role, building, so build, debug, test, deploy, all these things I give it. Now we have a print method. This print method have to print all these details. Along with that, it should print this role also. That means how to access here super.print. It is accessing all the base class members, and extra here it will have console.log. Here we will print this dot role. Okay. Additionally, this is one employee, and the employee is using, developer is an employee, he is using employee blueprint, and he is extending that blueprint with his own features. Okay. Now similarly, I will create another class. So this is admin. Admin also employee only. Admin name is different. So some Raj. So some name. And his which one designation is admin. Admin. And admin role. Admin role. Here I will give as some authentication like this. Authentication, authorization, something like this. Now I will do one thing. Instead of using console, we will test in HTML. I will use document.write. Document.write means we are testing in HTML. Then I will put a BR, okay? Line break. Our intention is to test in a, here also I will give document.write to test in HTML, okay? Yeah. Now here we are configuring same document.write, okay? Now this is two employees. One is developer, another one admin. Okay, now another employee. I will give here as manager. So we have some Tom, some Hanks. Okay, now I given as manager, and here I given as manager role. Manager role is some approvals, something like this. Now here, how many employees are there? 3 employees are there. Developer, admin, manager. Now the question for you is, if you say, I know polymorphism, the question for you is, I need only one object which can access all 3 employees. Then tell me for which class I have to create an object. Actually, to handle 3 employees, we need 3 objects. I want only one object which can work for all 3. Tell me for which class I have to create an object. If you create manager, only manager will come. Is there any relation with manager and admin? Understood the point? If I create an object for manager, only manager will come. What is employee? Employee is just a blueprint. Right? Is manager extending admin? No. Then how? If I create object for employee, only employee will come. No? No? Virtual keyword. I am just asking simple. I want an object which can access all the 3 classes. That is the question. Then for which class I have to create an object? If you have an answer for this, then we believe that you know polymorphism. That is what polymorphism is. Polymorphism is not about overloading a function or overloading a method. It is about designing a behavior to any component in such a way that it can work for different situations. It's not just only related to functions. Understood? Now, here, overriding, no. You cannot create a class which can implement all these classes, na? Obviously, multiple inheritance is not supported. See, now what I am doing here is I am creating I am creating. So here I am creating employee. I am creating employee. Employee is an object. Employee is an object. And what we are doing here is, right, what we are doing here is in this employee object, this employee object we are configuring as, we are creating as new, which class? I am creating as new array. Array can allocate multiple memories. In this array, in the first index, I will allocate memory for developer. In the second index, I will allocate memory for admin. In the third index, I will allocate memory for manager. Now, how many objects are there? Objects, how many? Only one. But at 0, it is working for employee. It is working for developer. At 1, it is working for admin. At 2, it is working for manager. One object you created which can work for all three classes. This is polymorphism. So that means you created one object in such a way that individually it is working for different. It is individually working for different. That means if it is working for employee, means manager, only manager. So that means at 1 index, at 2 index, it is manager only. At 1 index, it is admin only. That means now see here, only one object. What is that object? Employee. Let's do one thing now. Let's go to the index page. Let's compile it first. tsc index.ts. Because it is having DOM, we cannot run here. We will go here, already it is linked na in index. Here we will write a script. In this script, we will write a for var employee of what is the collection. We have employee. Here we will name it as employees. Okay. That is array. And for var employee of employees, that means we are accessing all elements in array. And here I will do one more here. What I will do is I will put a variable designation and I will put a prompt saying that enter designation. Enter designation. And here I will write a condition if employee dot designation, right, is equal to the designation you entered. If every employee designation is matching, then employee dot print, you have to print that employee details. We have to print that employee details. That is the basic logic here. That means now how many objects are there to deal all employees? Only one. Now see here, when I run this, here it is asking enter designation. I said admin, then only admin detail should come here. So we have to print detail na? Is it printing na? You are using console log. We have to use which one? Document dot write. Document dot write. We have to use that document dot write everywhere. We need to keep the document right. So admin, right, refresh once. Admin, what is the role again? All roles are same. Designation wrong. Spelling. What we given designation. We haven't compiled a index.js. Oh, some problem. Let's check once. Some reference error is there. Employees is not defined. Employees is not defined here. Where is it? We created an object now. Developer. It is transcompiled. It is transcompiled. Where is the object? Employees. Actually, this employees is in index.js only. Compile. It is fine, working. Okay. Actually spelling, admin spelling wrong. Where is the role? Designation is admin. Fine. Now here we will use again. This time I am using what? Manager. Manager comes. We will put developer. Developer comes. We will put admin, so admin comes. So how many objects are working here? Only one. This is polymorphism. That means polymorphism is not about overloading a function or method. It is about designing a component in such a way that it can work for different situations. Object is only one, but it can work for different situations. So designing an object for working for different situations is exhibiting polymorphism. This is the concept of working with the polymorphism, right? So I will copy this for your example. Just what is polymorphism? So poly means what? Many. Morphos means what? Forms. Morphos means forms. And configuring a component to work for different situations is polymorphism, right? So configuring a component to work for different situations is polymorphism. That means that component exhibits polymorphism. So it can be anywhere. That means that component can be a class. That component can be an object. That component can be a function. Right? So it can overload. Anything can overload. So polymorphism is about handling components' behavior in multiple ways. That means actually in this situation, this employees, you can write in so many ways. I just given like this. You can write in so many ways. Generally you learned arrays. You can write like this also. That means what you can do, employees is an array. We can write employees of 0, right? At 0, it should work for whom? Developer. So employees of 1, at 1, it should work for, suppose, admin, anything. So employees of 2, so it should work for manager. Like this we can configure. So object is only one. So here what is overloaded? What is overloaded here? Object memory is overloaded. Object memory is overloaded. That means it is not just functions memory overloaded. Object memory also can overload. How you can overload objects memory? By creating an object which can handle multiple memories. What kind of object can handle multiple memories? Array. That means now what is the type of employees? Array. But array is typically object type. Array is typically object type. So that is the concept of polymorphism. Right? Technically that is polymorphism. So this is one simple example here. So I will copy this. This is one example. This is one example for polymorphism. So that is how the polymorphism works. Concept of polymorphism works, right? So we have two important things. One is inheritance, another one polymorphism. This is there in JavaScript also. This is not new concept of TypeScript. This polymorphism concept works in JavaScript also. Same, right? I haven't told you any new concept. Just I refreshed that point again. This is there in JavaScript. JavaScript polymorphism, same. Everywhere similar way we have to define, right? So now this is two important things, that is inheritance, another one polymorphism. Next important is, after understanding these two, one more we have to know is about templates in OP. Class is a program template, but officially we have a templates in OP. We have contracts. Contracts means interface. Contract means interface. Component means class. Component or entity means class. And template means what? So what is a template? Why we need templates? Let's see. Concept we know already. What is a template? Technically, what is a template? Template means it contains predefined data and logic, which you can implement and customize according to requirement. Generally, how templates are designed and why we need templates. Two situations I will tell you. In real world project development, where we need templates. I will explain two scenarios here, right? The scenario is actually, suppose we are developing an application for bank, some HDFC bank. For a bank, we are developing application. When we are developing application for bank, suppose we are working for some Wipro, Infosys, TCS, something, any company. Now these people are building an application for bank. Then bank have to provide all their data to those people. That's not safe. That's not safe. How bank will provide all their customer details, credit cards details, everything to Wipro employees? But without providing that, how they will design? No? Point understood? That means we design lot of modules. We will create lot of modules. We design lot of modules. According to bank requirements, we design. But some modules are very private. Then bank people cannot give the data for us. Then what they will say? They will ask us that, please design some template for this and give it to us. Our developer will implement it. That means HDFC Bank will have a Java developer, will have a .NET developer. They are very rare very rare, very less in number, but they have directly working on their payrolls, right? Very rarely you will find such kind of jobs also. For example, let's see here, Naukri sites here. In this Naukri site, let's see here, I am searching here as HDFC, some ICICI, and here I am giving Java developer. I'm just giving Java. I will use Java developer. If we are lucky, we can find, but very rarely these jobs will come actually. So ICICI Bank, and you see ICICI, HDFC Bank, these are all general people. These are bank managers, okay, finance people, all these. Let's see any software requirement they are asking, like we need a Java developer. So these are all bank managers. So working for bank relationship. So very rarely we will find those kind of jobs. These are all bank related options. These are all bank related only. Currently we may not have that. Modify our search here a little bit more. HDFC, Java developers, ICICI Java developers, some banks. Currently not there, but very rarely they put such type of jobs. You will get in Naukri and these sites, you will find ICICI Bank asking for Java developer, HDFC asking for Java developer, like that. One second. Yeah, so here we are unable to find as of now, but you will rarely find such kind of options, because they are not very regular. You will see developers working on various technologies for Java, .NET, and some Python, okay. These kind of developers, they may be asking for various technologies. Now, why they need these kind of developers? The question is, why they need these type of developers? So the answer is this one, right? What is that answer? The answer is, we develop a template and we give this to those people. Understood? Then what their developers will do? They will implement the template, implement the functionality for that. And why they can trust them? Because they are bank employees. They are bank employees. That means they will have to sign all the terms of bank. They are not direct other software company employees, they are directly bank employees, but they are software engineers. Right? Their payroll will be directly on bank. Very extreme experienced people they ask. Because only 3-4 people team will be there for entire country. To manage the business of one entire country, they will have only a team of 3-4 developers only. Their role is very risk. So much work burden will be there. Packages will be very high. 40 lakhs per annum, 50 lakhs per annum. Such people's package. They directly work for these payrolls. So we need to develop a template and give this template to the people who implement it. Now the question, how to design such template? This is one requirement. Another requirement I will tell you where we need templates. Another requirement is, suppose we have some Reliance. Now Reliance have some gas industry. Now for Reliance Gas in India, we built an application, we built an app, and we given this app to this Reliance Gas. They are using that app for their business. Now this Reliance is expanding its business to France. It's expanding its business to France. Now we need to build an application. We need to build an application for France business. Will you build another new application? Can you use this existing application? No. You cannot build a new application, time waste. You cannot use this application because it doesn't match for France. Then what we do is, we build a template, understood? We build a template for this application. This template we roll out in France business. We call this as roll out. In software projects, you have end-to-end project, you have support project, you have upgrade projects, you have rollout projects. In real-time project development, 4 types of projects will be there. We have end-to-end projects, support projects, upgrade projects, rollout. End-to-end project means we build an application from scratch. Support project means already application is built, given to them, they are using it. If they have any technical issue, we have to solve. That is support. Upgrade project means we built application in an older version. Now we need to update to the new. Rollout means we built a template. We have to roll out the same template according to the business requirements in another location. Due to this rollout, in this rollout only many people are sent on site. You know, people are sent on site in companies, right? Why? Excursion tour, because they work so much, then we will send 1 year in US, enjoy and come. Then why people are sent mostly on-site? On-site means what? On-site means we are working for client from India. We done it. We finished. Now they need some people at their location itself to have continuous support. Then we send our experienced people from here on that project who are experienced. We send them there, so that they can support the people there live. Now that is one situation. Another situation is we send people to roll out the template there. We built a template and the template need to be rolled out. We will not do from offshore. We will send our experienced people there. They will go to the client location. There they will sit with their teams and they will roll out. After rollout finish, they come back. So we build templates and give these templates. Software projects, rollouts, all these will be there. If you put lot of experience in your resume, when interviewers means any HR calls you, he will ask how many rollouts you have done. You have any experience in rollout? How many support you have done? How many upgrades you have done? Because currently we need people in upgrade. Do you have any upgrade experience? Currently we need people for rollout. Do you have any rollout experience? Currently we need people for support. Do you have any support experience? For experienced people, these kind of questions are asked. So what is the purpose of template? Is to design a predefined template and give it to the client so that they can implement and customize according to requirement. Now, how to design templates? That is what actually templates are designed by using abstract classes. If anybody asks you, like you learned abstract class, what is purpose? What is the purpose of an abstract class? What is the purpose of an abstract class? Tell me. You cannot create an object for class that is behavior of abstract class. I am asking why you need an abstract class. What is purpose? In real world project, abstract classes are used for designing templates. Understood? Template means what? Some functionalities are ready. Some functionalities we need to implement. That is what abstract now. Right? Abstract means few are implemented, few need to be implemented. Am I right? That means what? It is a template. How templates are designed? By using abstract classes. That means we design a template by using abstract class. So the purpose of interface is designing contracts. I told you now. Interfaces are used for designing contracts. Abstract classes are used for designing templates. Right? And classes are used for designing components. That is the difference actually. That means abstract classes, template. Abstract class means template. That means we design abstract classes. By using these abstract classes, we create templates and templates are given to clients. What those people will do, they take that template, they customize according to their requirement. They extend it. Whatever functionality is there, they will use it. Whatever functionality is not implemented, that they will implement. That means now what we do generally, for bank I told you now, for bank what happened, suppose customer login, right? Customer register. We have options like customer register, and we have like credit card login, credit card details. Now what happens is we design a class for the bank. In this class, what we will do is we design login functionality. We will design register functionality. Understood? But we will make this credit card. We will keep it abstract. Understood? Understood the point? We will keep it abstract. Abstract means it's need to be implemented. It is incomplete. Who will implement? Their developers will implement. That means now this is not implemented. We need to implement. Now, if any class is having at least one member not implemented, then this entire class must be marked as abstract because it is incomplete. Right? That is the reason you cannot create an object for abstract class because abstract is an incomplete class. Right? Now what the bank employee will do? The bank Java developer is there now. This bank Java developer, what he will do is he will create a class. Right? This class, that means bank extension. This will extend which one? Bank. It will extend that bank in that whatever functionality. Which functionality? Credit card functionality not implemented. He will implement. Understood? This is why we need abstract classes. Why you have to design an abstract class? What is the purpose of abstract class? That means, remember, generally for a fresher, what is abstract? For an experienced person, tell me why I need an abstract class. Why I need an abstract class? Why I have to design an abstract class? What is the real world requirement? Where we use this? Right? You should know that they are used for designing templates. Right? Now how to design template, how to implement these templates, we need to understand that. Right? That we will see in next session. Tomorrow we will do that. Okay? Tomorrow we will finish understanding about the abstract and one more modules. Right? Mostly by tomorrow, day after tomorrow we will finish TypeScript. Then from Monday we will again start working with Angular. Right? So by Saturday we will finish all TypeScript part. Okay? Tomorrow we'll continue that.